Good morning. I'm just getting ready to start this cuckoo clock repair here. This is a Schneider. They made the case most likely, and it's got a regula movement, and it's made in Germany, Black Forest, Germany. And it's just your basic. They call it the beer drinker. The little guy drinks his beer. The water wheel turns, and the dancers plays music, and it just needs a good cleaning, so I'm gonna do that. So you always start here by removing the hands gently, and always have these little containers here to put my parts in so they don't get lost, which happens very easily at times. Just take that right off. Hand nut, and this is just friction fit on there. This fits tight around that tapered pin in there. Okay, and then the next thing you want to do, you have to remove the hooks so that they'll go through the hole down in the bottom of the case here. You can pull the chains out, and to get these off, you just grab one side with the split right here, and then you can just turn the hook. You're not spreading it, you're turning it. Much easier to fix back. Don't pry it open this way, but just turn it. Much better. Okay. This one has 3. Get all them. And one of them fell off. Huh. It looked like it got pried open. Maybe the weight fell or something like that. Okay, so then we want to set this thing up a little bit. And I'll just pull them through. Just pull the chains on through. Get those out of the way. Okay. And then flip it over here. Open up the back. Okay, so now I've already inspected it. It's got some gunky, dirty oil around the pivots here. I hope you can see this. Yeah, got some gunky, dirty oil around these pivots. Let me see if I can show you what happens to this oil. It gets dust and all kinds of things in it, and that's what clogs up here. Oh yeah, see that? Every pivot probably looks similar to that. Lots of muddy gunk in there, and that's why I'm taking it completely apart because I can't get that. Look, that's a lot of dirt. That's just one pivot. Can't get that dirt out of there without taking the pivot out and taking some toothpicks and going in there and getting all that out, polish all the little gears, ends, pivots we call them, and get all that out of there so we can put new in there. Okay, so I hope this is going to be a good view for you guys to be able to see what I'm doing here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the bellows out. Take this one out here first. I bet these are going to be glued in. What a drag. Maybe not. Sometimes these guys will glue them in. Got this screw. Let's see what we've got here on this one. Nope, it's not. Let's see, it's loose. So then it's got a little nail down there that it's a little pin nail down here to hold it from rotating, and then that comes right out of the lift lever there. That's the high note. The hook on there, the lift okay, we'll just do this one. It's over here. Now this one over here also has a bird lift, and it also makes the little guy's arm go up to drink his beer. So you have to get it out of the bird from up here. It comes out of the bird, and then you have to get these wires, these lift wires, to come out of there. And then that just comes right out of there. And then remember how you're taking pictures is a really good idea. I've been doing this quite a while, so I don't really need as many pictures, but I still take a few pictures of everything as I go, just so you know, my brain doesn't always work just right. So now we're going to take this music box out. And what I do, I want to be able to get it right back where it was in there. So I look, and it's flush here, the metal, and it's pretty much flush on top of this little block over here. So what I do is make a little mark like this on the side and across the top. And that way I can get this piece of wood right back where it was, and this is screwed to the wood, so that'll make this movement. This is the music movement. And what happens when this, as this thing comes up to the hour, this is hooked to a lever up front, and as it raises, it lowers this. And so what happens, this is blocking the fan from turning. The fan won't go past that rod. But what's happening is this lever that's connected to that front being lifted by the minute hand actually. And this is going down, and it pushes that down, and this lever pops out of that hole. And then it lets go like that, and then the fan gets stopped by this. And then when the movement goes through its cuckoo over here, it has to cuckoo first, and that looked like that was 2 o'clock. It released that fan. See how that got out of the way? And that's what makes the music go. And then the music will, and the music will go. And it's got it geared up here to this chain that goes up to the dancers. And that lever pops back into the hole, and it's drawn down. And this little rubber stopper right here catches the fan. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can see where this little rubber stopper right here, it gets in the way of that fan. It stops it from turning. And that's how the music works. Okay, so what I'm going to do, first thing I want to do, I think, is get this. This is the the silencer. When you push it up like that, it disengages the lever on the front so that it doesn't lift and start the cuckoo. It won't cuckoo, and so it won't play the music, it won't do anything, but it will continue to keep time. That's music off, cuckoo and music off, on. It's just pushing down on this rod when you push that in the up position. So we're going to get that off next. Get a socket over here. Okay, so let's take this off. Little nut there, and also it has this little spacer on it. You just pull that down in there. It has this little spacer on it and a little spiral washer. Oh, I just dropped it down in there. I'll get it later. Let's see if we can get this washer out of there without losing it too. A little spring washer there. Just puts a little tension on it to keep it off. And my little that goes over the post, and this nut tightens down onto that, and it gives it a little play in there so that can be movable. Set that over there. Okay. And so then We'll get the bird out of there. We got to unscrew the bird. He's screwed onto this upper post. This opens and closes the door, and the bird comes out. Plays on this. I'll show you that in a minute. So here we'll get these out and get an idea of how this chain is tracked in there. Make sure you notice where it goes and how it's looped around. In fact, let's just go ahead and take a picture of that, and then that way you don't have to try to remember. You can just look at your picture and you'll be back to good. So here we go to get the music box out. Sometimes this can be a little challenging. To get out past all of these levers without ending something, but I hope you guys can see this good enough. One thing I just thought of, the water wheel is hooked to this front shaft, so right here. So we've got to go in there with a slot, screwdriver, and undo this set screw here. Okay, and then the water wheel should just come off. Let's see, got a little set screw on it there. Off to the side. Okay. Now back to the task at hand here. Okay, so we got the screws out. Now this is always somewhat in the way, and you can take pokers. You need some handy little tools here to get some of this done. Let's move this. This can be a challenge here sometimes. Chain, slack, get it off of this front sprocket. Get it all off of there so it'll come out. Okay, so now let's see if I can slip it out of there. Oh, I didn't get the screw out yet. Okay. Kind of like weave it out past all these levers. You don't want to bend them up too bad. Hard to get back where they need to be, so you just kind of slip it past, and there's your music box. See how that little stopper is drawn down when that pops back in that hole. It comes out of that hole and plays. Sounds a lot better when you got it on your, and it plays. And this hole is spinning around. There's one on the other side. So what it does is when it gets around there, watch the lever, pops back into that hole, and then it's pulled down. This is all pulled down until that little finger gets in the way of the fan, and that arrests the music train. Okay, So look at this one. Boy, this one's got some really dirty stuff too. Now the music box is a whole nother system here. And it's dirty and worn, and this one's going to have to be taken completely apart, and maybe even bushings. I don't know yet. We'll have to see how that one goes, but we'll set this off to the side and get our movement on out of here, so we can get it apart and get it in the wash, and then we'll see about the music. Okay, so then we're all undone. Our little chain is in here. We can set it off to the side, and then we'll go for our screws here. Magnetic screwdrivers are great. Now the bird is still on its perch here, so we have to kind of like work it off of it as we take the movement, pull the movement out of the case. So I get it up and then just slip it right off of there. It's mounted onto this, and that's what makes it. It goes out and cuckoos and then pops back in at the end of the run. Okay, this is a little Regula 34 8-day movement. Pretty typical. You see them a lot. Typical rack and snell on top. And your bird post here. Okay, and that's what we're going to be taking apart, cleaning up, fixing all the wear in there and get it back to good. And this is just a little roller, chain roller here. It helps the chain to stay free in there. So, and we'll just set this off to the side and we'll clean this up a little bit when we're ready to put it all back together. But let's see. Yeah, I'll probably end up taking that out, the dancers, and just so I can clean them all up. It's pretty dusty, and that's just part of the service. I'll clean all the dust out of here, try to get all down in the little nooks and crannies. You can see, I think that, you know, it's this little guy, he's been drinking a long time. He got a lot of dust on him too. Okay. All right. Set this off to the side.